Alright guys, and welcome to the first episode of Porter TV. What we're trying to do with Porter TV is just give you a little more in-depth look into the shop, a little more long-form video that you can see our process. We'll talk about some day-to-day stuff. You can meet the team, things like that. We've had a really good response from a recent survey that we did. A lot of people want to know different parts of the process, kind of some day-to-day stuff, even what we talk about while we're drinking coffee in the shop, and obviously meeting all the people involved in making up the guitars and the pickups. So in the intro clip there, you heard this guitar. We'll talk about what's in the pickups in a little bit when Marco joins us. But this is a leopard wood top, black limba back. We've got a kind of a multi-piece neck with limba and lacewood, and an ebony board on this one. So what we're doing right now is this kind of is the pre-setup or the pre-final inspection sort of process with these guitars. Basically, it's tuned up. We're making sure the electronics work. We're making sure everything looks good on the neck once the string tension gets on. And then we're going to go into a string tension leveling. So we're going to use a jig that basically will level under string tension so the guitars play really well. We can get the action nice and low. You can really adjust that action when you get the guitars however you'd like, and it will stay really in tune. It will play really nice. Not any fret buzz, things like that. So all the guitars that we make get that process. So as you can see, we've got the strings just kind of hanging out here, going through the locking tuners. Basically, at this point, we're going to just play around with it for a little bit, kind of see what it's like, see if we like the pickups that we chose for it, and get everything set up. And then it will go into that jig, and we'll go through the fret process and all that. We're going to do that later today, so I'll show you little clips of that later on in this video.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, so I'm joined here with Marco Gonzalez. He is our shop manager for the pickup side. He does a lot of pickup designs for our guitars. If the guitar is not ordered, basically what we do is kind of spec out a set of pickups for that guitar. And that gives us a chance to try new things.
Yeah.
Different, obviously, wood combinations and all that stuff that we've got going on. And so, Marco, why don't you talk a little bit about the set of pickups that it's in here. We had the opening clip earlier in the video was the neck pickup. So let's start there. What's in the neck?
Well, the neck pickup is a take on our classic blender humbucker with the enamel slug coil and then a poly-coated wire on the screw coil. And then there's a ceramic magnet in there, which gets a lot of, hate sometimes, the ceramic pickups.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds great. I like the opportunity to design a new pickup and just to see how it sounds, to know if, oh, that's good, let's do that again, or oh, that's not so good, let's not do that again.
That was horrible, let's not do that. Yeah, exactly. And that's what was cool about that. I think normally we do an Alnico 2 in the blenders.
Yeah, in the
on
necks.
neck. And so this kind of was a lot, I don't know, it has a little bit more clarity, a little bit more top end focus, which was kind of good for a neck pickup.
Yeah.
It definitely I felt like it cleaned it up a little bit too.
And it's not wound super hot or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like a middle of the road as far as how hot the pickup is. So I think that also helps it maintain clarity and not get too boomy.
Definitely. And then what about the bridge? What was in the bridge?
And so that is our smooth humbucker Alnico 2 magnet with a couple extra turns on each bobbin. So it's like overwound, but not to where you're going to take it to your
Not extreme
metal gig or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. But.
Exactly. So one of the interesting things about this pickup set is we actually had it in another guitar at one point. So it was in one of our label A models like this, but it was all black limba neck and body, no top, anything like that. So it was quite a bit different in that guitar. Obviously, as we're introducing different types of woods in the guitar, I mean, obviously with the multiple piece neck on this one, there's different sounds and different tones going on. And so again, that's been fun because we tried this set as sort of a wild card. Let's see what happens. And now it's been in two different guitars, and we really like it in both guitars. And so it's kind of encouraging. It's kind of got some good promise to it. One of the things too, that like when we did that survey, a lot of people wanted to know, what goes into the design process of a pickups. Each of our models, or when we're doing a new design, how much detail goes into each of the pickups. So we're going to actually go over to one of our benches and talk a little bit about a new Telecaster set that's coming up. And I think you guys will enjoy the process. Marco and I will just be sitting down. We're not going to recreate the initial conversation that we had to do it, but we'll talk a little bit about kind of our goals for the set and then what we did to achieve those goals. And then later on in a future video, you'll see this pickup set come out as well. So we'll go do that now. All right, so we're over here at the bobbin bench. Looks like the camera's kind of cutting your head off. Sorry, Marco.
It's okay.
There you go. You can lean down.
Well, thank you.
We're over here at the bobbin bench, so we do a lot of the bobbin building over here. Behind me, you can kind of see the flatwork piles and the bins that we stored the flatwork. Everything gets hand assembled right now. We're working towards doing more presses and things like that. But right now, we actually kind of weirdly enjoy the process of hand assembling.
By hand.
Yeah, so hammer, and we use different spacers, things like that. We'll kind of zoom in and show you a little bit more of that process. We won't go too far into detail because I think we'll do a whole episode maybe on the bobbin building process. But talk about kind of this hybrid plus tele set. Talk about maybe what our goals were for this set and kind of where we're at in terms of the development right now.
Okay, cool. So just like our Hybrid Plus Strat set, it's kind of meant to be a very overwound, very clean, lean, and kind of mean. Really can push the amp, but still has that big clean sound kind of that you're looking for if you're looking for a big clean sound like that. So it's I'll let go 5. I mean, it's just overwound to the point where it's like comfortably that's as much as we could fit on the bobbin without it kind of getting a little bit
spilling
weird
over the end, right?
Yeah, and there's like a different thing with the neck pickup as opposed to different tele neck pickups that we're trying. This is still kind of the first version of it, and then we'll see how it sounds and if it works.
Yeah, so this is kind of the process that we go through. Is all of our pickups have a purpose. We say pickups with a purpose. We try to fit a need with each model that we make. We don't just make something to make something. And so what we're shooting for with the Hybrid Plus Tele is something that when you go to the bridge, it's going to be nice and full and big sounding and keep up better with humbucker guitars. That's kind of like the Hybrid Plus Strat. That's what the goal was with that set, and I think we achieved it. Mm-hmm. So the goal is to kind of get that same vibe into a Telecaster form. And even with the neck pickup, I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to have sort of a Strat-y kind of neck pickup sound, I think, from the result. Yeah. So we'll take a look and we'll zoom in a little further on the development of the set. We'll show you guys some up-close shots. All right, so we're over here at the bobbin bench again. We're talking a little bit of the up-close stuff of the Hybrid Plus Tele set. So we've got a couple different coils. Here's the process of it. Basically, we're doing kind of all slightly raised magnets on this one. We've got a nice big fat neck coil. I think we're going to do an open top cover on the neck as well. Yeah. So we've got one of those, and then we're going to do our standard copper base plate for that. So in this stage of the process, it starts to get really exciting because we're getting closer and closer to actually throwing it in a guitar and seeing what we can expect from it. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think that we've gotten a little bit more efficient at design. We know what we want. We know how to kind of get the winds to achieve what we want tonally, and the wire and the magnets and things like that. So I think this is going to fit in a really good spot.
Yeah, and then once it starts, taking this form with the physical assembly and the coils wound and it's, ready to hook up, it's just, this almost just needs the finishing touches. And so you might see that video pretty soon here.
Yeah, we're hoping maybe within a week or so we'll be releasing this, and we'll probably have a little bit more of a feature on one of these episodes in the future, kind of talking about the Hybrid Plus Tele, things like that. So we'll take another couple spins around the shop. I'll show you guys some more things that we're working on, and we're excited to show you more of these episodes. If you guys want to leave some feedback down below, more things you'd like to see. Again, these are going to be a lot longer videos, not very, quick hit videos, just more in depth of the process and kind of what goes into each model, and a lot of sound clips and just fun stuff from the shop. So we'll take a look at some other things that are in the works today. Okay, so we're over here at the guitar bench. We are taking a look again at this Les Bois with the lacewood, leopard wood top. First thing we're going to do to get it ready for our jig is we're going to make sure the neck is straight. We've got our handy dandy truss rod wrench. We've got this tool to check the neck straightness with the strings on, which is very handy. So our necks are 25.5-inch scale. We'll take a look at there. Looks like we need to adjust it just a little bit. So from here, what we'll do is adjust that neck, and we'll get it ready for our fret tensioning jig. I'm going to sneak in the back here and get that truss rod adjusted. Basically, before it gets fret leveled, we're going to go as flat as possible. with that. And our truss rods are double action rods, so we can get it nice and finely adjusted. And once we got it flat, then we'll go on to the jig. All right, so once we got the guitar on the jig, we're going to re-simulate the string tension after we remove the strings. Once that tension is re-simulated by raising up the headstock, pulling down at the nut, then we're going to go ahead and do our fret leveling from there. So we won't go full through tutorial into this process, but every guitar, like we said before, gets this treatment, and we really want to spend a lot of time focusing on the playability of the instruments as well. So that's a quick look at that part of the process here at Porter Guitars. Okay guys, well thanks so much for watching the first episode of Porter TV. Our next episode will feature more of a full shop tour. I know a lot of people wanted to see the full on shop tour. The crunching down below is our man Yukon, who is eating food while we try to make a video. So again, what we're doing with these, I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's not a TV show, it's more of a real thing. But that's the goal, is we want this to be a real show.
It's like reality TV.
Yeah, reality TV. That's right. Hopefully without the drama and all the cat fights and all that.
It's pretty chill around here.
Yeah,
play guitars and listen to music.
Exactly. So, again, if you have different things you want to see featured, we probably won't show you every last detail of our entire process, but obviously probably can't necessarily copy that anyways. We do our own thing here, but yeah, we'll show you some really cool things about the shop and kind of again, more of the people involved in this as well, because the people really are what make this whole thing go. Definitely.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
We're excited about that. We'll go through everything from how a pickup starts to how we finish it to how we check it before packaging. Hopefully it's interesting for you guys, and we'll try to keep the content coming and make it as interesting as possible. So thanks again for watching, and look forward to showing you more episodes in the future. Yukon, what's up, buddy?
Are you not hungry anymore?